Streetwear has gone through so many phases in the last decade that it almost feels like 3 different worlds. In 2015, having Yeezys and a Supreme box logo made you the flyest guy in your high school. By 2020, you couldn't scroll Instagram without seeing someone in a Miri jeans, Dior sneakers, or an Essentials hoodie. And in 2025, it's shifted completely. It's about clean fits, muted tones, and sneakers that don't scream for attention, but still turn heads. So which era of these was the best? That's what we're breaking down today. I'm gonna take you through 2015, 2020, and 2025. The trends, the sneakers, and the cultural vibe of each era. 2015 was the year streetwear really broke into the mainstream, and it did it through one word: hype. If you were into fashion or sneakers at the time, you definitely know what I mean. The Supreme logo was the holy grail. People lined up outside Supreme stores for hours just to get their hands on a box logo tee or a hoodie.
How long were you waiting?
A day and a half.
Are you crazy?
Sometimes not to wear it, but to flip it for double or even triple the price. Supreme drops were events. Owning anything with that red Supreme box logo gave you that instant cool factor. Now it wasn't just Supreme though. Bape was still huge, especially their shark hoodies and camo pieces. Palace out of the UK started making waves with their Tri-Ferg logo tees that spread across Tumblr and early Instagram. Streetwear was loud, colorful, and heavily logo driven at this time. Now on the sneaker side, 2015 was the year Kanye West took over sneaker culture and the Yeezy Boost 350. Shoes like the Turtle Doves and the Pirate Blacks were grails. Before that, people only cared about Jordans and SB Dunks, but Yeezys kind of changed everything. It wasn't just about basketball history anymore, it was more about exclusivity. If you had a pair of Yeezys at this time, you were automatically him. Now the fits of 2015, joggers were everywhere. Cuffed tight right around the ankle to show off your sneakers. You had long line tees that draped below your hoodie. That was the flyest thing you can do. Skinny jeans were a must, stacked at the ankle, paired with Roshi runs or Ultra Boost if you couldn't afford Yeezys. Snapbacks, dad hats, and 5 panels were a close second. Now the icons at this time were people like Kanye, who was redefining what it meant to mix luxury and streetwear. Travis Scott was on the rise, not really a megastar just yet, but his early fits, skinny jeans, Jordan 1s, and graphic tees were what all the younger kids wanted to wear. Even Ian Connor, who was very controversial, but had a chokehold on streetwear at the time. 2015 was very raw, hype-driven, and exciting. It was about being part of a community, lining up for drops, showing off what you managed to cop, and by the end of the decade, that hype-driven energy transformed into something new. By 2020, the energy around streetwear shifted from standing in line at Supreme to showing off online. Instagram flex culture had peaked, and TikTok was beginning to push fit checks on everyone's For You page. This was the era where streetwear fused with luxury fashion. Looking stylish at this time not only meant having the latest drop, but also having designer to pair with it. Now the fits of 2020 were defined by 2 things: oversized comfort and luxury. Fear of God Essentials was everywhere. You couldn't go to the mall without seeing at least 5 people in oatmeal colored essential hoodies or Eric Emanuel shorts. They weren't flashy, but it was sort of a status symbol. TikTok made it mainstream. It was the uniform for a lot of guys. Boxy hoodies, clean sweatpants, and sneakers that made the fit pop. On the higher end of things, everyone wanted a pair of Amiri jeans. The skinny jeans with the neatest dressing was just everywhere. Pair that with some Dior B23 sneakers or even Dior Jordan 1s. You had the final boss of Instagram fits. Off-White was massive too. Virgil had not only made Off-White the biggest streetwear high fashion crossover brand, but he also took over Louis Vuitton as the men's creative director. His influence was crazy. Now sneakers in 2020 were a huge mix. You had the chunky trend with the Balenciaga Triple S, the Yeezy 700s, but you also had Travis Scott collabs that everyone wanted. The Travis Scott Jordan 1s were basically the 2015 Yeezys of this generation. Rare, expensive, and a flex if you had them. Dunks made their comeback around this time too, especially thanks to TikTok. Panda Dunks, SB collabs, they were suddenly everywhere. Now this was Travis Scott at his absolute peak. Playboi Carti was also reshaping streetwear with his goth opium influence. TikTokers started becoming style influencers, people doing daily fit checks, and getting millions of views from it. Now the pandemic also had a huge influence on 2020 style. With everyone locked inside, loungewear became essential. Hoodies, sweats, slides, comfort was all everyone cared about, but people still wanted to look elevated. That's why brands like Essentials blew up. At this time, you could throw on a sweatsuit with a clean pair of sneakers, and you had a chill fit that was still Instagram worthy. At this time, we had designer sneakers, logo heavy fits, and TikTok fit checks. But as social media matured and people got tired of the obvious flexing, the definition of style started to shift again. Now, we're in 2025, and the vibe couldn't be more different. If 2015 was about having hype, and 2020 was about flexing, 2025 is about subtlety. The trend today is more quiet luxury, minimalism, and individuality. Logos are out. What matters now is the cut of your clothes, the texture of your fabrics, and how well your outfit works together. Sneakers today tell the whole story. New Balance has taken over. The models like the 550, 2002 R, and the 9060 are becoming staples. Even Puma, who was once really forgotten about, has made a comeback with their sneakers like the Speed Cat. The culture now could give two f***s about resale. It's about wearing shoes that feel timeless and versatile. I mean, the fact you can buy Jordans today at retail price that years before were going for thousands of dollars should tell you everything you need to know. Fits today are cleaner and more mature. Baggy jeans are still around, but the silhouettes are better. You'll see wide leg jeans paired with loafers, gorpcore jackets layered over basics, and muted color palettes like gray, navy, brown, and cream. Salomon sneakers, Arc'teryx shell jackets, hiking fleeces are all being worn casually in cities. It's about comfort, function, and style all in one. Now, some icons of this era are less about celebrities and more about influencers. Wisdom K is a perfect example. His TikTok outfit set trends. You also had people like Playboy Cardi shifting into avant-garde, pushing runway fashion rather than traditional streetwear. And guys on TikTok and YouTube who break down fashion in detail have taken over as the new style guides. The culture today is more about sustainability, thrifting, and mixing high and low end pieces. Instead of spending $700 on Amiri jeans, people are thrifting Levi's and pairing them with $120 New Balance and a $40 Uniqlo tee. Having style today does not mean logos. It's more about having a timeless, put together look. I want to know what you guys think. What era of streetwear was the best? 2015 gave us excitement for the hypebeast movement, 2020 gave us peak luxury streetwear, and 2025 is showing us that style doesn't need logos. Now for me personally, I would have to go with 2015. In 2015, it wasn't just about what we wore, it was about the culture we were involved in. But to be honest, every era has its strengths. So let me know what you guys think. Also, I dropped a free style guide for you guys. It's going to be in the description down below, so check it out if you want. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to do more of a documentary style for this one. So if you guys messed with it, let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.